I'm Sara Scott, and welcome to LUTV Sports Break, where we will discuss interesting sports topics with our panel of sports reporters. The college season is winding down, but the Heisman watch is heating up. A primetime matchup saw two Heisman contestants in a shootout. Quarterbacks Joe Burrow and Tua Tagovailoa played in another epic clash of the LSU-Alabama rivalry that lived up to the hype. Burrow led his team to victory with his 3 TDs, while Tua added 4. Not to be outdone, Jalen Hurts totaled 5 touchdowns in his game. Panel, who has taken home the Heisman Trophy, and are there any dark horse candidates?
Without a doubt, it's Joe Burrow from LSU. I mean, he's dominated. He played excellent against the Alabama team. He showed his improvement from last season. Actually, right now, he's leading the country in completion percentage and is on pace to have the highest completion percentage of any quarterback in NCAA history.
Something like 78%.
Yeah, 78.2%.
Wild, wild.
I'm going to agree with the LSU fan. I'm going to say Joe Burrow. I think he's done really well, and of course, he battled against Tua last week. So, I mean, I think looking at that matchup, you could tell who the better quarterback was.
Well, I'm going to have to contradict you guys, and I'm going to have to go. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Come on, let's hear it.
I just wanted to, I'm going to have to go with the Texas native, Jalen Hurts. And not to say because, and I don't know if Stephen A. has this copyrighted, but Joe Burrow is a bad man.
He is. He definitely is.
He's good. He's leading in it. But I think Hurts can really, lead a team better than Joe has. Joe has everybody everywhere right now. LSU is better team than Oklahoma, but personality and leadership and who's really better is that Jalen Hurts can hurt you either running the ball or passing the ball. Joe Burrow is doing a great thing with his arm, but I'm sure he's going to run into a defense soon.
See, my thing is, I think Jalen Hurts is a fantastic quarterback. I also think he has a lot of people on his team that help him out. I think CeeDee Lamb looks fantastic. That also brings me to another point. Why is it always a quarterback? Since 2000, we've only had 3 people who weren't quarterbacks win the Heisman, and one of them was vacated. So, why is it consistently a quarterback?
I'm going to expand on that, but before Arthur says Joe Burrow is not a good leader, I would like to mention that Justin McMillan at Tulane was LSU's quarterback. This is a kid coming from Ohio, doesn't know a thing about Louisiana, walks in the locker room and looks at that team and tells them, I'm here to win and lead this team. And then he has ran into great defenses. The Florida Gators defense leads the country in sacks, and then he defeated an Auburn team that has 2 first-round defensive linemen on that team. In each of those games, he's took a hit in the mouth, and he gets right back up and leads them to a touchdown.
And to piggyback off of that, you're talking about a quarterback that can also adjust to the game. He had 64 rushing yards himself in that game against Alabama. He's a leader. He adjusted to that game specifically. He knows what he's doing. He's versatile, and he's got it. I truly believe.
Well, since Derek wants to call me out, but hold on. Hey, I never said the man. If I did say he wasn't a leader, I didn't mean it. I'm correcting myself. I don't think that he's not a leader. Like you're saying, he's over a team. I say he has the better talented team, but I'm saying Jalen Hurts is like that natural leader. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, he was at Alabama as a freshman. Nobody has ever done that, and led that team to a national title almost. But again, I'm not taking anything from Joe Burrow because, like I'm saying, both of them are bad. They're two of the best I've seen in a long time. Joe Burrow has probably been the most consistent I've seen. Jalen actually averages the highest QBR in the nation right now. I don't know if y'all know that, but Joe Burrow is.
Jalen's also really entertaining to watch.
Exactly.
When he has to get out of certain situations and he does the whole football behind the back and then throws it deep. Those are really entertaining plays.
One interesting fact about Oklahoma I would like to mention, Lincoln Riley creates Heisman contenders. Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield, both from Oklahoma. So it would not be surprising to see Jalen Hurts battling for the very end for the Heisman title. So, I'll give you that.
Well, even with these contenders, he still has 15 rushing touchdowns, too. And that says a lot. He has, that's over half of his total touchdowns. So, even though he has these weapons on his team, he still makes a play by himself when it needs to be done.
And Joe Burrow probably can win the Heisman. Probably, because, to me, it's like, in your opinion, I guess
they still have to finish off the season.
They still have to finish the season, exactly.
Yeah.
And the Kansas State loss, I don't think that affects him because Jalen definitely played a big game in that game as well.
Definitely.
But I think guys like Lamar Jackson, right now what Lamar Jackson is doing is affecting the draft stock of what Jalen Hurts is going to be. He's a dual threat quarterback. Nobody knows. He's not as fast or he can shake you out your shoes, but definitely Hurts probably is like on his way to be a first pick because of Lamar Jackson. And Joe Burrow, I'm not saying he's going to fall too far, but I mean, somebody's looking for a quarterback. He's a pocket passer. And I think in this day and age, a pocket passer is going to last longer than what a guy who can dual threat, you know? Look at Cam Newton and all that.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
It's a tight thing between them two. But I like both of them, really, though.
So I agree. I think that Jalen is a contender, but as far as like actual Heisman standings go, it's unanimous at this point. Completely unanimous. Every single person voted for Joe Burrow to get the Heisman as of Monday, I think it was. Like, do you think that at this point that Jalen will be able to make moves big enough with this much time left in the season to override that?
I think LSU has such a wonderful, well put together team that Joe Burrow would have to have one of the worst games of his career for that to kind of affect it. And like you said, I mean, Jalen Hurts doesn't have the team that Joe Burrow does, and he's working with what he has. And I think he's done a fantastic job, but I think Joe Burrow would have to completely fall apart.
One small interjection. Can we agree that Tua pretty much failed to last in the standings with that loss? I mean, the ankle injury, he's having an amazing season, but with that win, it's almost like Joe Burrow kind of knocked him out of the conversation. And it's between him.
It makes me kind of sad for him, honestly.
With the ankle injury and all.
Because he's a great player too. He's got a lot going for him. He'll have a successful career if he can get over this injury and get back into it. But I think that specifically the injury played a big role in his Heisman run.
Yes.
For sure.
But I don't think Tua is accustomed to it. Them two are doing right now because them two are in a class of their own, and Joe Burrow is probably in his own. But again, they're right there to me.
I agree.
And not to knock Joe Burrow, but Alabama does not have the same defense they've been having all these years.
It's still Alabama.
But I'm just saying that. I want to throw that out there and make people feel
like that's a hard game to play. That's a hard game to lead. But thank you, panel, and thank you for tuning into LUTV Sports Break. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for more Lamar University sports. We'll see you next time.